Good morning from Bisbee, Arizona, or just west of it. I'm actually above Highway 80. There's a tunnel underneath me, and I'm getting ready to hike up to Mount Ballard and Fissure Peak. So Fissure Peak is one of the Arizona 2,000-foot prominence peaks, and it's about half a mile west of Mount Ballard, which is right about the same elevation. Yeah, this is off of Old Divide Road, and this is looking more west. The trail is going to be somewhere over in this direction. All right, I'm just parked right over there, and I believe this is the trail right here that heads up to Mount Ballard. I don't know if that's Ballard right there and that's Fissure or what. That could be Ballard and then Fissure could be further back. But either way, I think one of those two is one of them. So when I started, I think it was in the 40s, according to my car. I think it was 41 from what I remember. It's the end of October. Yeah, this is the third 2,000-foot prominence peak in a row where I use the old man excuse to do one of these easier peaks. Last two peaks were Silver Peak and Keystone Peak. Keystone had a road, Silver had a trail all the way to the top. This will have a trail to Ballard, and then there will be a little off-trail section up to Fissure. It gets a little steep in places, but it's not too bad overall. And there are a few downhill sections too, at least there were so far. But it's gotten a little bit steeper now. Trail's gotten a little bit more overgrown here. It's definitely getting overgrown with all the rains this summer, but there's a lot of cholla along the trail here now. Not the jumping cholla, thankfully. These kind of cholla right here. Yeah, I'm gonna say this is Mount Ballard right here, and then that one is Fissure. So we'll see if that is the case. It shouldn't be too much further up to this summit anyway. All right, I just came from over there, and I think this is the summit of Mount Ballard. It's not much really. I've actually even gone down just a tiny bit. There's a little sign up here, and then Fissure Peak is out there, so that was it. All right, I'm gonna make my way over to there. I'm not gonna stop here. I'm gonna get over there, check out the views from there, and then make my way back. This is the second cairn I've noticed, so there are some cairns. So basically, I think you stay right along the ridge as much as you can. That's the least vegetated path. So I head down here, head down to the saddle, and then head up. All right, this is it, summit of Fissure Peak. I'm gonna relax here for a little while, but not too long, and then get back down. So this is one of the Arizona 2,000-foot prominence peaks. Either this one or Mount Ballard. Supposedly this one is 5 feet higher, but if you're gonna do one, you're pretty much gonna do the other one anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm gonna get the 360 as best I can from up here. All right, I'm standing on the summit rock pile right now. There's Chiricahua Peak and the Chiricahua Mountains. My brother and I were there a week and a half ago doing Silver Peak. That one is Dos Cabezas in the middle. That was this past April, I think we did it, or May. The furthest one way in the back is Mount Graham. And there's a couple other prominence peaks in here, I think Bassett Peak and Riley Peak. And then over here we have Mica Mountain and Rincon Peak. And then I think the closer one is Apache Peak, one of the prominence peaks. Beyond that is the Tucson area. There's Mount Wrightson, highest point in the Tucson area. I think it has about 4,500 feet of prominence or something like that. And then here's a look at Miller Peak, one of the ultra prominent peaks in the continental United States. It has 5,000 feet of prominence, but just barely makes the list. It's the 5th most prominent mountain in Arizona. And, looking down into Mexico here. It's kind of a haze further out on the horizon, but it's not too bad. I can still see pretty far. I guess all this is pretty much in Mexico down here. Alright, that completes our trip around Fissure Peak. I'm gonna get a few more views. Here's the summit rock pile up here. There is a register in there. I went to look at it a little bit, but it was just too much work even getting the notebook out of the jar. So I said forget it. I never signed them anyway, but it's in there if you want to sign it. That's a nice vantage point up here. Not too far from the town of Bisbee. Great views of Miller Peak over there, and then nice views into Mexico too. It's pretty nice down there. There's a lot of neat looking peaks that way. Yeah, now that I'm looking at it, I can see the border wall down there. I think that's it, that straight line going across the desert. Pretty sure that's the border right there. Yeah, not too far from Mexico here. Alright, I just came down from Fissure. There's a fence going pretty much all the way up to the summit. Follow the fence as best you can. Sometimes you'll be south of it, sometimes you'll be north of it, but stay as close to it as you can, and that's the best route. It was actually easier on the way down. I went a little too far north on the way up. And now I just have to try to stay on the ridge as much as possible, follow the cairns back up to Ballard. Yeah, there's somewhat of a path here and there, and then there's cairns here and there too. But right now it's actually a worn path. I can see exactly where I want to be. It'll fade away at some points. I'm pretty much exactly where I was on the descent down from Ballard. Well, if you're here, you know you're in the right place. This is where you do just maybe a little bit of a climbing move. All right, here's one last look at Fissure Peak. I'm back on Mount Ballard, and I'm getting ready to head back down now. So just right at the top here, it branches two ways, left and right. I think I went right on the way down. Left seems a little bit better when I came back up, so maybe go left. It's a little tougher to make out the trail in places up here, but it pretty much follows the fence. I think it gets away from it just a little higher up. Yeah, the trail's a mix of steeper sections like this, where you do more of the climbing, and then more level sections, and then also some downhills on the way up. All right, I can see the trailhead. I'm almost back. All right, Fissure Peak is out of view. It was 4.3 miles, 2 hours and 17 minutes, 2,270 feet of elevation gain. And a pretty cool hike. Another one of the 2,000 foot prominence peaks completed. And it's 8:45 in the morning, so hopefully I will be home by about noon, which will be nice. All right, well, thank you for watching. Until the next prominence peak, take care.